I think looking back on my relationship with my productivity in terms of the work that I put out, I've often held this belief that I could theoretically do a lot more on any given day, right? And there was one day I remember in like 2015 maybe, where I spent the whole day writing, and I wrote I think 15,000 words of word vomit essays. And it's not edited, it's probably not even particularly good. I can't remember what I wrote. I could go back and look it up, but I hold on to that memory that, oh, there was one day 9 years ago, holy crap, that I wrote 15,000 words in a day. And therefore, I believe that surely on any given day, I could be capable of writing thousands and thousands of words. Similarly, I'm like, I could spend a day making videos all day, and then I could schedule them, every other day or every week or something like that. And therefore, shouldn't have to go months without uploading anything. And so right now, I'm making this video after I already made a video earlier, and I probably will schedule it for tomorrow or the day after or something like that. But the thing I want to reflect on is the fact that I'm reflecting on something that Kenny Werner said, which is something like, however you perform on your worst day, that's how you perform, right? And there's a similar quote about how like you don't rise to your level of your potential or something, you fall to the level of your training. And yeah, I guess what I'm looking for right now is to figure out what is the more psychologically healthy belief to hold, and particularly in the sense of what actually helps performance, right? And I don't know if, I could write 10,000 words in a day helps me perform as a writer, right? Like, why am I thinking about coulds? Like, what have I done recently? Right? And if I go a month without publishing anything, I feel like shit. And so, yeah, I don't have a ready and easy answer to this question. Is it a question? What is the question? The question is, how should I think about my capacity? And what is my capacity? Do I have an accurate understanding of my capacity? And if you don't have an accurate assessment of your capacity, what do you go by? And I think there's a bit of a Lamau tension where, like, on one hand, you go by what you've done so far, and on the other hand, you go by what you think you could have done, and you hold one of each in each hand, and you try to synthesize the two, right? So, what I'm trying to do on Twitter right now is I'm trying to do one essay draft Twitter thread a day. So every day I try to quote tweet the previous thread and write a new thread about another essay draft. And I would like to publish an essay. I think my fantasy right now is every 3 days, but even once a week would be amazing. Like if I wrote 50 this year, that would be huge. And I'm not on track to do that. So what would it take for me to get on track with writing and publishing 50 essays in a year? I think that's the real problem that I'm trying to solve. If I can solve that problem, whatever my beliefs about myself and my capacity around it, however those beliefs evolve, that's how they evolve. Like, it's fine. I'm not fixated on I must hold on to one way of seeing, but rather which way of seeing actually helps me do better, right? But yeah, having said all of that, like, one question is like, could I be more productive? I think, like, obviously yes. Like, really, like, and I believe that if anybody sat down and observed how I work or not work, they would, any reasonable person I think would say, oh, this guy, yeah, he should be able to do more, And I have made some small changes that seem to be creating more output, right? So like with my Twitter thread essay draft idea of writing a new Twitter thread each day. Again, I'm only 5 days in, or like, I guess I've done 5 in 6 days, something like that. But I believe I can keep going. And if I can keep going, then I would, in a month or something, have moved forward more than I moved in preceding months, right? And that's the consequence of rearranging my materials, rearranging the way I do things in a way that makes me do better. And it's not even like I am a better person or anything like that. It's just about environmental changes, right? It's about how I modify my environment and how I conceive of my problem, of the puzzle, right, to solve it. And you know, again, it's only been a month, but I started working out again this year. I have these cycles where I work out really hard for a few months, and then I get bored, or I get slightly injured, or I get tired, and I stop. And I repeat this cycle every year, or every 2 or 3 years. And I'm in a pretty good, like physically right now, I'm like fitter than I usually am. So I don't know if it's impressive or not, but it looks more impressive. I mean, I can try and make it look impressive, but like, you know, my shoulders are broader than if you go and look at my previous videos. And it's not that I'm working, it's not that I'm exerting myself that much harder, you know. I mean, I kind of am, but I made it easy. I put a kettlebell in my bathroom and I just do rows and extensions, tricep extensions, bent over rows, and now some squats every time I pee or every time I shower. And so by making it so easy for myself, I do more. And I guess that's what I want to be doing. I want to be devoting time and energy to observing my environment, observing my behavior patterns, and looking for these kind of structural easy wins. I'm making this, this is the second video I made, and I made it because I went on a walk, and I probably wouldn't have made it if I didn't go on a walk. So lesson there is I should go on more walks with my phone so that I can, you know, feel compelled to make videos. You know, there's a specific short walk that I go to whenever I want to buy McDonald's from the McDonald's near my house, and whenever I do that, I always make at least one TikTok. And it's like, it is what it is, you know. I'm likelier to make TikToks when I do that route. And yeah, I guess I just need to redesign my environment, and I have been averse to that for a long time because when I was a kid I hated schedules and all that, but that's like so long ago. But you know, maybe just because something is long ago, something happened a long time ago, it doesn't mean that it's not around anymore, right? Like, so you have to face it, whatever it is, and deal with it. And I think, yeah, that's all for now. I guess this was me putting a kind of flag in the ground that's like, hey, let's revisit this 6 months from now and see if, one, I keep getting fitter because of my bathroom kettlebell, and two, see if my daily-ish threads of essay drafts lead to me publishing more essays. I think that's going to happen because I feel more animating spirit in my essays when I'm talking about them. And yeah, I should be calling friends more and just chatting with them. Every time I have a long conversation with a friend, there's always interesting stuff that comes up that I then think, oh, I should make an essay out of this. I seldom write good essays by trying to write good essays. I write good essays by writing other things, and then along the way something comes up and I'm like, oh yeah, this, you know. So yeah, I want to do more of that. I want to be more deliberate about doing more of that, and we'll see how that goes. You know, make your predictions in the comments. Hope you guys are well. Done.